What's up, guys? Simone Fan 101 here, and this is my Smackdown review. It's the last review I have to do, the last recording I have to do for the night. Wrong paper. Damn it, bitch. Anyways, overall, a pretty good episode of Smackdown. I gotta say, we started out with Dolph Ziggler coming out after the best match, two nights after the best match of his entire career. Crowds chanting, "You deserve it." He seriously does. Ziggler, cut his normal babyface speech about, how do you word it? About, finally getting to that point. Miz and Maurice, not long afterwards, came out. They were dressed in black. Like, she was dressed in a black dress, he was just in a black suit. He was saying the Intercontinental Championship died the moment he lost to Dolph Ziggler. Miz showing a lot of really good fire here. Miz is. Dolph Ziggler showed showed footage of No Mercy. After the match was over and Ziggler was walking away with the title, Miz was practically crying. And, of course, Ziggler made fun of him for it. Miz said that he fought like hell in order to keep the title. Imagine what's going to be like for him to try to get it back. The Spirit Squad came out to mock Dolph Ziggler, and apparently they were going to be in a handicap match against Dolph next, which they were. Kenny and Mikey were. It wasn't supposed to be a great match or anything. It was just supposed to be a match that was supposed to be a little bit of fun. Good old, vintage with the Spirit Squad. If the Spirit Squad are going to be the Mrs. Cronies, then I want to see them more often. So, after the match, because Ziggler super kicked both Kenny and Mike. And immediately after getting the pin on one of them, I think it was Kenny, the former Kenny Dykstra, if you remember that name. Miz came in. He was on commentary. No, he wasn't on commentary. He was just sitting by the announce table. Miz came in to attack Dolph Ziggler. Out came Rhino and Heath Slater, the tag team champions, to save Ziggler. Which apparently, and just from the looks of it, is going to set up a 6-man tag team match next week on Smackdown. That much was obvious. Unless they're going to have Rhino beat the Miz, which would be hilarious. Or no, Rhino versus the Spirit Squad. I would love to see it. Not even just Heath Slater and Rhino against Kenny and Mike. Just Rhino just destroying Kenny and Mike. So anyways, that was that. They did a decent job with the opening segments. I get what they were trying to do. The show, by the way, was not match heavy or was not an emphasis on great matches. This was a show with emphasis on angles, which they tend to do which from the looks of it, is something that they tend to do after a pay-per-view. Not so much about the matches, but really a lot more about the angles that they shoot. And there are several of them. Afterwards, we had Shane and Daniel Bryan making an announcement. But I actually want to get to this announcement until later. Because this is something I should save to the end of the show. Naomi beat Carmella in a few minutes. Not even a few minutes, just like 2.5 minutes after Naomi beat Alexa Bliss at No Mercy. I guess her losing to Carmella wouldn't make any sense. So yeah, giving her just a little bit of momentum. Carmella, of course, was being a bitch. She plays a good bitch. Nikki Bella actually came out to cost Carmella a match because right before the match, Nikki was being interviewed by Renee Young backstage, and Carmella attacked her and basically rammed her into one of those giant boxes that we have no idea what's in them, and of course mocking her on the way as well. Nikki came out to distract Carmella. Actually, really just try to attack her. The referees held her back. But then Naomi got the roll up pin on Carmella, and that's how she won the match. You know, building more story to their future matches. Alexa Bliss was watching the match the entire time backstage, and she was interviewed. Straight up said, "Look, Naomi's not on my level. I didn't have any time to prepare for Naomi because I thought it was going to be wrestling Becky." And Daniel Bryan came up to her and was like, "Really? You think that? Well, how about this? Next week, you and Naomi one-on-one. Let's see who wins." And then he walked away. Daniel Bryan, he shows up, makes an announcement, and leaves. That is awesome. We had Chad Gable against Jimmy Uso. Jimmy Uso beat Chad Gable after only after like a couple minutes with a slightly creative finish. So what happened was he rolled Gable up to the pin. Jey Uso used his right yellow heel shoes to keep Jimmy Uso level, so that way he could gain more leverage and pin Gable. Seriously, hold on. Seriously, what is up with those shoes? The Usos for the most part, their act is complete, but those shoes, what the hell is up with those shoes? I don't know. Backstage after the match, we had the Hype Bros and the Ascension in a backstage segment. The Hype Bros, apparently Mojo was talking about Smackdown tag teams, tag team division, everything. Then he went from that to talking about getting chicks and saying that Zack Ryder plays with his toys in his bedroom because Zack Ryder doesn't have any chicks on TV apparently. Obviously, Mojo does not know that Zack Ryder is in a relationship with Emma. And after the Emma pictures that they showed us on Raw, first of all, fine ass does Emma have. Second, the fact that Zack Ryder is scoring that, I'm with Zack Ryder, man. I'd rather be Zack Ryder right now if I was scoring Emma. After that, the Ascension came up to confront them. They barely said anything. That was just like a brief standoff, and then the Ascension went to walk away. So, a setup for another feud right there. Afterwards, we had a great segment with AJ Styles. He came out to gloat over his win over John Cena and Dean Ambrose. Called the crowd a bunch of losers, even though they didn't really boo him that much because they love AJ. Dean Ambrose came out. He slightly complains, like, "Look, I'm not the kind of guy you wanted. You want a new challenger. We're gonna face another opponent, but I'm not going away. What we're doing is what's going on between us is not done by a long shot." Styles told him to go away because apparently Styles is going to face James Ellsworth, the Jobber, in a match. Yes, James Ellsworth, the same guy that The Miz attacked about a month ago, in order to take his spot and be in a tag team match with Styles. So he pretty much put over Ellsworth from the mic. Ambrose said he was going to sit at ringside and watch the match. Styles had a problem with it. Just wanted him to leave because he's already beaten Ambrose 3 times in a match. Twice he pinned Ambrose in a match. Sorry for that. Just fixing the thing. And yeah, Daniel Bryan came out. It's like, you know what? Dean, Styles is right. So you're not going to be at ringside. You're going to be in the ring officiating. So made Dean Ambrose a special guest referee. What proceeded to happen was some pretty hilarious shit. Okay, so what happened was the entire match went 10 minutes long, and I actually did watch through the commercial break on Daily Motion because there's they went to commercial, but they showed what was going on the top left screen, kind of like that. And I had to admit, I was pretty damn amused by the whole thing. It was just hilarious. In the beginning, it was. The match only should have gone on like a few minutes, and then it ended. It went 10 minutes long. There are several matches on this show and on Raw that deserve to go 10 minutes, but don't. But yet this went 10 minutes. Okay, so and believe it or not, thanks to the shenanigans by Dean Ambrose, and after two, I was going to say two attitude adjustments, two dirty deeds on AJ Styles. Man, does that sound dirty? Like legitimately dirty. James Ellsworth, the jobber, pinned AJ Styles. I did have a slight problem with this, only because I think another lower to mid card guy could have benefited from the win. You know, Kalisto, Apollo Crews. In fact, this would have been perfect for Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews has been doing nothing. In fact, I haven't even seen him on TV the past few weeks. Crews hasn't been doing nothing, so just even though he would have been kind of shoehorned in there, it would have been a lot better than what he's doing now. Instead, they gave it in comedy more so to James Ellsworth. Styles, after the match, complained to Shane and Daniel Bryan backstage. Shane McMahon came off as a real dick, saying that Styles brought this upon himself. He should blame himself because he lost the match, even though he had Ellsworth pinned and he had him submitted in the match on 2 different occasions. So Shane McMahon came off as a real dick. AJ Styles was the babyface in this segment, which is something I found hilarious. And as the night went on, as everything was going on, JBL was like, I can't believe I'm saying this, but JBL was like my favorite guy on Smackdown, on the Smackdown announce team. Because he was the one that was most real about everything. He's the guy that's like, dude, this is complete bullshit by Dean Ambrose and I fucking hate David Otunga on commentary because he's so fake. He's like, oh, well, Styles, he blah, blah, blah. Styles, Dean Ambrose comes across, not Dean Ambrose, David Otunga comes across as so freaking forced and fake on this show, where it's like, I don't believe a word that comes out of his mouth. I'd rather much believe Mauro Ranallo and JBL, the 2-man commentary team, than the 3-man booth with David Otunga, because David Otunga sucks as a 3-man team. Horrible shit. We saw before their match, we saw Kane and Randy Orton. Yes, Kane is on this show. They were gonna team up against Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper, and Randy Orton complained about them, saying that he's gonna bring Bray into his world and show them what pain is. Kane's like, look, I'm with you, but you got issues. Then next we proceeded to have what was actually a nice little match between Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper against Kane and Randy Orton. It was a decent little match. Kane was in the ring a little bit too much. At the end of the match, Randy Orton went for the tag. Then the Wyatt thing happened. Everyone wore dark. A few seconds later, the lights came back on. Luke Harper was there instead of Kane. Kane just flat out disappeared. Probably in TNA. And Bray Wyatt got Randy Orton's sister Abigail for the win. A very sloppy looking sister Abigail, I gotta say. So, and JBL was asking the right question. Where the hell is Kane? He just disappeared. A 7-foot man doesn't disappear like that. Where the hell did he go? Maybe Kane joined the Wyatt family. I don't know. So we see what's going on here, and this is my little evaluation. Bray Wyatt is still going to be feuding with Randy Orton going Survivor Series. AJ Styles is going to be defending, and Daniel Bryan said this on Talking Smack. He's going to be defending the TNA Championship. The TNA Championship. The WWE Championship against James Ellsworth next week. And obviously, we're going to get the eventual Miz Dolph Ziggler rematch. We're going to get probably we're gonna get a match at some point, like the brief, maybe WWE Tag Team Title match on SmackDown between Slater and Rhino and the Spirit Squad. That would actually be nice to see. Um, so yeah, there was that. And the one thing I want to announce earlier in the show. Okay, so Shane, Daniel Bryan were in a backstage segment. They were, oh shit, the camera keeps on shaking. Sorry about that, guys. Daniel Bryan and Shane, they were first of all, they were looking into the camera because whenever you see backstage segments, these guys they never look into the camera unless you're like the Miz or someone big. They never look into the camera. They always seem to be. They always seem to be freaking looking like off into space like that. Like say if I was doing a review of a show of one of my wrestling shows, and I would just look over there the entire time, like, well, you see, what's happening is they are doing this, and look at me, I'm your audience. Anyways, they looked at the camera, which was a good thing for a change, and they announced they gave a challenge to Raw to up the ante from what Nick Foley had said it would be at Hell in a Cell. The 3 Hell in a Cell matches, which by the way is a complete overhaul. They they challenged Foley and Stephanie to 3 5-on-5 Survivor Series tag team matches. The first would be between all their best male competitors against Raw's best male competitors. So SmackDown would be not SmackDown. The second match would be the female competitors against against their female competitors, and the third one would be tag teams, 5 tag teams against 5 tag teams. You know what this reminded me of? This actually reminded me of back when they did the Survivor Series back in the day, back in the 80s and the late 80s, early 90s. Really from 1987 to 1990, when they were doing nothing but Survivor Series matches. Those days, in the first 2 events, they had 2 Survivor Series tag team matches where if one member of the team got pinned, the entire team was eliminated. So yeah, and this is how I could spit a ball around the card all day. I don't know whether or not there's going to be any titles on the line. There might be, depending on how storylines play out. There might be another match between Ambrose and Styles. They're teasing that. Probably on SmackDown, but that doesn't make any sense because we already got that. So I can imagine that the SmackDown tag team would be, the SmackDown tag team Survivor Series team would be the Usos, American Alpha, Slater and Rhino, the Hype Bros and the Ascension, only because they were the only other tag team that got some time here. Unless they plan on adding Kenny and Mikey, which would be hilarious and stupid. And I was like, okay, maybe that makes sense for storyline purposes, but they should also make it, they instead of the Ascension, put in Febreze, put in Tyler Breeze and Fandango. At least they're better wrestlers than the Ascension. Tyler Breeze especially. And this is a guy that wrestled a match against Jushin Thunder Liger in his only ever WWE match, so give him some freaking attention, for God's sakes. Raw's tag teams, man, they're lacking. They got, what do they really have? They have Sheamus and Cesaro, New Day, Gallows and Anderson, and Enzo. Okay, they're the core guys. Then they have the Golden Truth and the Shining Stars, and all that shit. They do not matter. So unless you were gonna keep the Sami Zayn Neville makeshift tag team, put them in the Survivor Series, then please break them up. The women, from what looks of it, the women should be Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, Carmella, Nikki Bella, and Naomi. Unless Natalya can get her teeth fixed, because she got her teeth knocked out at a live show. At a house show. So, unless Natalya can come back, it's going to be those 5 against Raw's 5. What are they? Well, Sasha, Charlotte, Unless they plan on adding Dana. I don't think they're going to add Dana, but Sasha, Charlotte, Bayley, Nia Jax, and choose your pick of either Alicia Fox, Summer Rae, or Dana Brooke. I'm going to choose Dana Brooke only because it makes sense storyline wise. Speaking of which, we haven't even seen Nia Jax in a few weeks now. Where the hell is she? Let's see here. And the male wrestlers, you make your choice of any of them, but guys, in my opinion, you should be in the match are Miz and Dolph Ziggler, freaking Dean Ambrose, maybe AJ Styles and somebody else, maybe Baron Corbin, I don't know. And then on the Raw side, you got Owens, you got Jericho, you got Rollins, you got Reigns, and you got Rusev. A lot of R's, I just realized. So with that said, guys, I hope there's like another Survivor Series tag team match. Maybe I wish it was like cruiserweights against cruiserweights, but we already have one cruiserweight title. We don't need two. So with that said, guys, that's my SmackDown review. Hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, guys. Peace.